This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
We got love, we got love, we got love.
Do you know what? I'm actually loving the Jessica Mauboy resurgence on TikTok. Have either of you seen that?
No.
I have, yeah.
What's she? She's back.
It's like the young millennials have found her music and have been doing dances and lip syncing to Been Waiting. It's on all over my algorithm, all over the FYP.
The young
Gen
millennials.
Gen Z's discovered Jessica
Gen Z.
Mauboy.
Next, the
Yeah,
young
that's it,
divas
Gen
will
Z.
be blowing up. It'll be a young divas moment.
Well, it is
We
20.
can only hope.
It is the 20th anniversary of Young Divas next year. I'm just saying.
20.
20 years, 2006 that was released.
Way to
next
make
year.
me feel old.
I know.
This chat about Young Divas reminds me of an episode that you had on the pod, Sam, where you were like, what happened to the Young Divas? Didn't one of them like drive that car into someone or something like that?
Which, look, I don't know. Receipts, please.
Maybe. Yeah.
I would love them to come back. I feel like we've had our own resurgence in the last 48 hours. What the fuck, girls? We have much to discuss.
I'm
still hungover. I'm going to be honest.
bad.
Yeah, not
Can't
gonna lie.
recover.
I'm still feeling it too. So, you know, as seen in the Daily Mail, the cringe
Oh my
girls made it
God.
up to Sydney for the bloody reunion after party.
Yeah.
I think you could put that on your tombstone, like as seen in Daily Mail.
I love that I
How
just
bloody good.
opportunistically grabbed Jackie Gilles for that photo, who was a great sport. And yeah,
Dan and
social
I-
pages.
Dan and I were standing there and we're like, I go to Dan, did you just see that? He's like, yeah, I saw that. You were just like waltzed over there. I loved it.
I shined it up, girls.
You did
She's
shine
like,
it up.
she's just thinking about herself. She's like, I need to get that photo up. I don't care. See you later.
It does make me feel old though that the young divas are, did you say 20 years?
Next
Yeah.
year, 2006. Yeah, you're talking to two very like in the know pop music boys,
Oh.
so we know our stats. 2006.
know it.
This time
Wow.
I was free. It was
Wow.
released.
Makes
Yeah.
me feel like a bitter old woman.
Hmm. And you are.
Your words. Your words.
So obviously we have to talk about this reunion.
Mm.
Then we can talk a little bit about what happened on
the
Tuesday
reunion,
night with
the Caroline of
with
it
the
all.
dolls.
The Carolina of it all.
But before that, Met Gala,
Oh,
whatever.
all I'm going to say is two words. Diana Ross. Oh my God.
Yeah?
She was camp as tits. She looked fabulous and I think she killed it. And I was like here for that. I loved it.
No one's talking about D. Ross. Everyone's talking about
Really?
the usual suspects. Yeah,
Kim K in the
Boring.
Cowboy Carter installed outfit.
yeah, whatever.
Who cares? Like,
It gets a bit floppier every year, right? Like, is it just me, or am I like, do I care less? Or is this a flop? This is a flop year.
no, this is like because the theme was tailored, right?
Yeah.
So from everyone that I've spoken to, this is one of the better years because of they're basically saying it's like how do you put this in the right way without being cancelled? It's like a black year, like an African year, right?
Oh yeah. Great. No, love the theme.
Yeah.
Incredible theme.
Yeah.
I just meant more like, I don't know, normally there's a bit of buzz. Someone wears something really stand out and we all talk about it. But this year I feel like maybe they all ate each
Stood
other's ideas up or something.
Mm.
It's because
Yeah,
your
maybe.
article in the Daily Mail overtook the Met Gala. That's why, Sam.
Oh, you mean Jackie posed for the camera with the Cringe is Real podcast host Sam Cremian, who wore
Also
a
known as
trendy
Madeline.
tartan.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's bloody memorized it.
No, I'm reading. I've got it up. Who wore a trendy tartan skirt, white button-up shirt, and woven hat. And doesn't that hat have a tale to tell?
And that's a Met Gala look right there.
There you go. That's why
Yeah.
I wasn't interested. I was living my own.
Oh,
Met
that
Gala
hat
fantasy.
needs its own episode. Like
Literally.
yeah.
Season 4 better be about that fucking hat. or
I
I'm
mean,
not watching.
after Tuesday night, it probably will.
So for the uninitiated, Victoria Montano, good friend of the pod,
Mm.
you know, was titillated and delighted that myself and guest Maria Angelico were confused about her fashion choices this season, including a little hat. And then she was so lovely and she sent me a hat.
Yep.
And
And
I
you
thought
wore
it
it.
was, and I thought it was the hat, but it was another hat.
It was an inspired hat,
Mm.
Italian made, of course. And she said, a promise is a promise, which is a very VM thing to say.
Mm. Mm. I just keep thinking about the antics on Tuesday with the hat.
Yes.
So much fun.
Stick around for that discussion after our thoughts on the reunion. But let's start with this bloody reunion. What did you think, girls?
The Caroline of it all. I think it was good. It's probably the most drama we've seen all season.
Nicole showed up.
Oh, snap. I was about to say Nicole was activated.
She's great. We need her in London all the time. Like, can she zoom into the next season? Like, amazing work from Nicole.
But I do think that certain people came off looking not as good as they'd hoped for, I think.
Yeah. I also think it was a bit of I agree with Shane. It was the most drama we've had all season. And it was good to get all of them pretty much in the same room. I thought Nicole zooming in was kind of iconic at this point. It was very on brand for her. It almost like that, the Wi-Fi image on the seating chart.
God.
Like
the Wi-Fi logo
Killed
next to her face. I died.
Yeah.
Like,
so
incredible.
Good. But I loved we obviously got a Jillian guest appearance.
Caroline finally learnt Jackie's name. She said, all right, Jackie. And they all went, yeah.
Jackie it was like watching the Melbourne Housewives reunion. She just walked in and she's like, I know what the fuck I need to do. And she walked
in like a UFC fighter. She was like, all right, girls. She's like, I've been here the whole time. I've heard everything.
My first radio. It's not my first radio, darling. It's not my first radio.
But I think it was a shame that usually by a reunion, you sort of get a resolution to any sort of issues. And it's very apparent that we were never going to get that. And there was a few people that were just not interested in, a resolution to some of the, I call them petty issues that we've had this season.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
You're not alone in calling them petty issues. I still, to this day, I've watched the reunion twice now, and I'm a little bit confused, particularly with Caroline. Like, I think basically the crux of it is everyone, or like, Kate and Terry are like asking Caroline to just kind of like own up to being a bit precious for reasons unknown. And she just like won't do it. But if she just came out with a really good either a really good reason and dug her heels in, or just kind of went, yeah, whatever, I don't really care, and they moved on, like I'd be back on board. But she kind of just fizzled out. No?
No, I agree. Absolutely. Like her whole sticking to that agenda of not saying sorry to Kate or self-reflecting on what she said to Kate and why Kate actually might be hurt because she's just like a blinkers on. No, it's all about me, has been her undoing, I think.
Yeah. She's definitely fallen into her own version of what she thinks the story is.
Yep.
And and she's not going to move away from that. And I just think she's not played ball. Like, I just don't think she's played really dirty this season. It's a shame because I really loved Caroline last season. I was so team Caroline. She brought the campness, she brought the drama, the bitchiness, but I still found there was a level of compassion there. But I don't know what the hell happened this year. She just was not interested, and she's quite.
Do you think maybe she was blindsided by, because Kate did leave it a little late in the game to bring up, oh, by the way, I've been holding this grudge. So do you think maybe she was a bit blindsided by that and then that set her off? I don't know.
No, Kate was pretty not as vocal as she could have been in the healing session.
She saved it to the end.
She saved it to the end.
She did.
But she has let on from the get-go. Well, she didn't save it to the end. She actually went off at her right at the first episode, right? Where she was calling her names and saying that she got her money from her husband.
Yeah, but but as in she revealed the reason behind why she was disappointed with
about her
to
dad,
the end.
The stomach cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But didn't they discuss that a little bit?
I don't fucking know. There was probably a whole off-camera conversation at the Intercon that we didn't see.
Absolutely.
Also,
Absolutely.
just on Caroline as well, she has a tendency to say, like, kind of can't understand what's the truth. She posted an Instagram story yesterday, and in the first Instagram story, she said she was currently poolside in Hawaii. The next Instagram story was her at a gym in Bondi Beach. And I'm like, I'm just a bit confused, hun. Where are you? Like, what's the truth?
We need eyes on Caroline. How do we feel Osher went as the host?
I mean, look, if you're going to take him as a host, he knows how to do the job.
Safe pair of hands, hey.
Safe pair of hands, but does he have the pizzazz of a gay that might hosting it? No.
A gay like an Alex Perry or a Joel Creasy.
Absolutely. Does he have the love for the girls that, those gay hosts would have?
What did he say at the start? He's like, "Oh, I'm a fan of the show." And I was like, "Shut up, girl." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm a huge AFL supporter. Like, get a grip, doll."
But that Mo, either be there or get it off. Like that Mo was like, what is this, a 14-year-old boy hosting a show?
It was bad. It was like stuff. It
Oh.
was it was like, oh, he's trying to grow a Mo. I thought
Baby's first Mo.
the hair was good though.
The hair looked really good. The little mullet. Yeah,
the
that
mullet,
was
and I like
all
he's
the
got this salt and pepper thing.
Yeah.
going on. I'm into a silver fox, so
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I really like, I actually was pleasantly surprised with Osher, to be honest, but I agree with you that a reunion really works when you have that camp host that can bring a bit of bitchiness back to the women.
Yeah.
I think it was missing that because I think it's probably the first reunion I've ever watched where it's been a straight man. And I know Alex Perry's hosted, and yep, I stand by what I said.
Allegedly. Or Joel, like, because I gotta say, both Osher and Joel, I feel were briefed prior to, and they were like, go hard on Nicole. Like, I feel like Nicole got trolled last year, even though she wasn't there. And then this year she got trolled and she was there. And can I just say, great, like, so fun. Just having Osher be like, so I heard you're not really into economy class, doll.
The economy class of it all, yes.
I mean, I don't blame her.
They really go hard on it. Like, yeah, she's not sucking up production. But and Joel did post about his absence from hosting, which I thought was quite funny.
Had to be part of the moment. He had to be part of the moment.
And then a
way.
little plug for his show. And I was like, do you know what, girl? Get it. Get those coins.
Snaps for you.
Clickbait.
I was going to say, I forgot this before. I wish the reunion was in two parts. I felt like we needed more. I think there was more discussed, and I think we needed more.
It could have been. I'm surprised they didn't milk it. Can we talk about the looks? We had Terry. Terry left no crumbs in that flapper frilly number. We had Montano with the legs out. Anyone stand out for you?
I know we've just spoken about her, but I did appreciate Caroline in the red. I think she looks red is her color,
and
really
it's on brand
hot.
now.
The devil wears red.
That's
probably why she wore it, to be honest. They all look stunning. In fact, they all look stunning. So Caroline's a standout for me, though.
Also, I have to give a shout out to your girl, Victoria Montano, and her legs were out in that little short red dress.
Legs 11.
Love it. Really love it. And got to give a shout out to our girl, Martine. She looked stunning.
She did look stunning. Her hair was impeccable.
Oh, Martine's hair is wild. They were all flapping their hair around all night. Like, I really did enjoy that. The Bobsy twins.
Yep. I really loved her look. They all looked great, actually.
Bobsy twits.
All looked great.
I liked them getting ready. Like, did we get this last time? I can't remember. Like, the shots of them getting ready and stuff. It felt like a Bravo reunion, which I enjoyed.
We did, because was there not last season either there was footage beforehand where Kate and Caroline or something were or someone was having an argument while they were getting ready?
Oh, that's right. It was like straight out the gates.
I think Chrissy said something and Kate was like getting her makeup and she's like, fuck off, Chrissy.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right.
All of the best things happen in toilet cubicles and the makeup
coaching. We've all done a bit of coaching out there.
Oh, absolutely, doll. My favorite line in the start when they're getting ready was Montano turns to the camera. She's like, and we'll just tuck that back fat back there, and don't let anyone know that I have back fat. I died. Like, she's actually so fun, and I want everyone to love Montano as much as I do.
I have to say, I've actually warmed to her. When I was on your podcast a few weeks ago, I said, I think I've just always been quite 50-50 on her. It's like Vegemite. I don't know if I love her or hate her. And I think that I've warmed to her a bit more where I've appreciated what she's actually given to the season. She's been that person in the background to just give the jabs. And I watched an interview with her the other day where she said she just decided, fuck it. I don't care what I say. I'm just gonna go for it. And actually, I appreciate that
Yeah.
a lot more
She
now.
got more airtime at this reunion than Chrissy did. Where the fuck was Chrissy?
Chrissy was being quiet.
She was being patient and listening. I was confused, girl. At the top, Chrissy tells us that she feels Martine kind of did her dirty a bit during the season. So I was like gearing up for that. But I think after Martine got vulnerable and talked about, passing of a parent, it kind of shuts that down, which, is good. And yeah, good on you, Chrissy, for, some growth.
Chewy growth.
May the force be with you. Okay, so we started with Montano versus the Biv, and I don't know. Do you get the vibe? Like Montano's a very loyal friend, and I think almost like to a fault. Like I feel like if you're on her side, she will like cut a bitch for you. But unfortunately, yeah, she sort of switched teams a bit. And the reunion was filmed, I think, before this alleged falling out with her.
It was
and
in October, I
Martine.
think Martine was saying. It was a while ago, yeah.
I don't know what's happened since then, but I did, yeah.
I was just going to say, Terry made a great point, though. They all signed up to do this, and they all committed and to be there.
Yep.
And again, I just think it's inexcusable as a housewife to decide when you want to tap in and tap out. And it would be like at work where you will put in 100% and then someone else just puts in 50%. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
So I was glad that it was called out because it's not okay. Like she should have been there and she should have changed the plan she needed to change to be there. Because it just shows she's not
you're
committed.
talking about Nicole.
I'm talking about Nicole. Sorry, when you're talking about Terry,
like,
were you talking about Victoria?
No,
Victoria, were they talking about Nicole?
I was talking before that about Montano and Terry. They kind of got into it first, and Montano said that she was just having fun in the confessionals, and Terry was like, "Nah, bitch, you were rude." And they hone in on that. They hone in on the almost 50 wearing that see-through dress. How embarrassing!
Yes.
I mean, I kind of think that was a camp, silly comment, and I love our confessional queen, Montano, but yeah, I think Terry's right. She's just lovely to everyone's face and then kind of like says things in confessional.
Yeah.
I think Kate's a bit the same. She's pretty jabby in the confessionals because they're there to make the show.
Mm.
We love, but I just want these women to be a bit more water off a duck's back. Like Terry is fucking incredible. Look at her. She's stunning. If someone came up to her and said, oh, you're an old woman, she just needs to be like, whatever, bitch. Like I want to see
like
her be a bit more Teflon.
But also like Terry and Victoria are in the same decade. Like
Well,
there might be a few years apart, but like girl.
But what she calls her ageist. She's like, I didn't think that you'd be ageist. I knew you were elitist, which I was like, love that. It's like, correct. It's a brand. But ageism. But if we're doing ageism, I'm like, okay, next.
I'm inclined to agree with Terry on this one. Like, I don't think it's appropriate, but it's Victoria's dark humor as we come to see. So
it is like, and I know. I like my Biv when she's unflapped, especially by something as stupid as that. But I think she wanted to have a moment.
Mm.
And also, I appreciate the confessional jabs because it makes for good reunion TV because they don't see any of this until it airs. So it adds to some additional drama you get at the end.
Mm.
Oh, you're so right. It's like if they all said everything to their face at the time, the reunion would be boring.
The reunion would have just been about being late for Japan for an hour. Yeah.
Oh my God. Don't. I've erased that from my memory.
Oh no, it's going to come up in the next season if there is one. You know it will. You know it will.
Then we get a Martine clip package as the newbie. And yeah, this is where Chrissy patiently waits her turn and they all notice. They're like, oh, Chrissy, you're being very quiet. She's like, oh, yes.
What does she say? And they all laugh. She says, "Oh, I'm biting my tongue" or something. I can't remember what she says, but yeah, little shady dig at Martine right there.
I think it was a wise move
Mm.
for Chrissy to do that. But at the same time, I love Chrissy when she's messy. So I would have enjoyed a little bit more messiness from her at the reunion.
Mm. She didn't have much to say.
No.
She was on mute, so she was
Yeah.
waiting to advertise a $1 billion show afterwards. So
Oh
that's
my
what she was waiting
God.
to do.
Can we? So, what the fuck? Come
Yeah.
on. I love that we were watching it. We're like, oh, confirmed billionaire.
Yep.
And you know we'll all be watching it.
Yeah,
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Then enter the Zoom chat, Nicole. She pops up on screen. Was there two screens?
She got two
as well?
screens. She got double screens.
Wow.
So she was just like book, like covering all bases. I love that.
I wish she wore a Wi-Fi symbol inspired dress or something. If she had that would have been amazing.
Oh my God. So she posted some pics. Did you guys see the other day?
Receipts.
Like the receipts of Binge kind of fucking with her. And like they totally did. And this is where like tinfoil hat on, I'm like, just with Osher like pushing her so much. It's almost like they want to make her look bad by not being there. Because they know how much we all got annoyed about it last year. So I kind of love they lent in.
So like, and that adds to what I'm about to say, because like how she's like, oh no, I invited through the producers to have a conversation with Terry off camera about XYZ, and it never happened. And we needed to have the conversation off camera because things can be said on camera in the heat of the moment, and then that sticks, right? And she doesn't want that to stick. And then at the end, she calls Terry, what is it? A stupid old bitch or something like that.
A bitter old woman.
A bitter old woman. That's it.
Bitter old woman.
It's just like another ageist comment towards Terry that is now aired on TV and is what people are going to be known for because it's literally the last thing Nicole says.
Yeah.
Right? So Binge did set her up. And you know what?
But
maybe that's what they did as payment for her not turning up to anything.
Totally. I mean, we don't know. Like, it could have been the only date that worked for everyone. It's a big group of people. I don't know. Like, whatever. But she does love an excuse. When she rocks up, first thing she goes, well, Osher, my life is much bigger than Housewives. I'll have you know. I was like,
oh, Jan.
But which again, I think that's an insult to the other women. And Kate said it to her, and I'm so
it's their whole life.
happy Kate said it, where they're like, we've all committed to this, we've all signed up for this. It's a lot of weight on our shoulders, and to see someone not pull their weight or not take it as seriously, or come to the party, I would find it insulting. And
do you know what else is insulting? An economy flight. Disgusting.
I agree.
How dare you, Osher? You think that this fucking absolute diva is going to hop on 35G back
It would have
there?
been like,
No,
it would have been a
she's 1A
Scoot
girl.
Airways economy.
I was about to say it's Scoot Airways. Well, they don't even have in-flight entertainment. She's raw dogging it, as they call it.
Honestly,
on the kids'
though,
side.
like, I wouldn't fucking do that either. That is long flight.
No, they're hard. Points only.
Get her some. Yeah, exactly. Come on, Binge. You haven't got points racked up. Come on.
But I do wonder how long she filmed, because I know they filmed this for like 7 or 8 hours. So it's interesting that they didn't have her for a bit longer. They just had her for one segment. I would have liked to have seen her involved in some other conversations, but I guess there wasn't really much more she could, give us, because she wasn't really amongst anything else this season.
But they got I think they got more than they hoped. She went off. Like some of these lines. Yeah. So first she said she's like her life's bigger than Housewives. She goes, face the music. You keep telling me to face the music. What music? That I don't like you. Like, that was actually so calm. I was like slow clapping.
And that she's going to have to pay rent to Terry for being inside her head so much as well.
They were good reads.
Yeah.
Like, Sorry, Terry, love you, but this was good. I love they both keep going each other like, oh well, it's only always been a social friendship. I'm like, wow, what happened? Like, I need more information.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's not just being tardy by half an hour in Japan.
Nah.
It's a bit more than that. Like off camera at the intercon, always.
Where everything happens. I also love. She goes, Osher, I'm not a mean girl, but Terry has a lot more to lose than I do. I'm like, oh, bitch. It's like, she's like, I know something that I could ruin this bitch's life with, but I'm such a classy woman that I'm just going to leave you with that and tap out and like literally
Tap
exit
out,
the chat.
end.
Yeah. End call. I'm like, okay.
Walk away with her eye patches on and her head held high.
She came to slay. So good. And now after that, and I did not think I would say this, but I'm like, we need Nicole on next season. Like she's essential. We need you can't have that be your last moment. Like it's too good. Even as a friend of, bring her in as like a little villain to like upset Terry every now and then. I think
like a Lizzie Buttrose at the Victor Chang.
Yes. Lizzie
so Terry has an event.
Buttrose.
Nicole walks in, like when Gina comes back after being overseas.
Or
in
Manuela.
season 1.
Do you remember
Oh my
Janet's
God,
friend Manuela?
Yes. They had a big fallout, apparently, Janet and Manuela. That's a whole separate
I can see why. Manuela was a thirsty tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Did Simone tell you that on Saturday Night, Doll?
No,
oh my God. We need to talk about
there's
Simone.
so much to talk about.
We'll get there
so
when we talk about it.
No, do you know what? Maybe if you do want her on next season, she could just be like a friend of where she comes in, like what Chica did. Remember Chica did a few appearances on Melbourne after she left. Maybe just get her in for a lunch or something.
I think that would be great because otherwise I'm like, you can't end that. That for me, this is just the tip of the iceberg, darling. And I want to know everything about what happened between these two.
It needs to be 100% or she needs to visit occasionally. That's it.
Well, she teased us she says she's got some shit on Terry. And
let's see.
I want to know what it is. Don't like,
pay the rent, Nicole. Pay the rent.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, so then we get bitter old woman and then they go, all right. Osher's like, okay, that's enough. We're tapping out. And it would have been like 3 a.m. or something as well. So
yes, I think she posted on her post that she did with the receipts. It was like 3 in the morning when she was
loves
filming
that.
it.
Yeah. All right. Then we had Terry v. Caroline. So love the Biv is just soaking up all of the airtime. Good on you, doll.
It's Terry versus everyone.
Yeah, which is why she's the queen.
The queen, yeah.
So Caroline says that the healing session was where it all went south for her, and alludes to some vile language, but then can't say what it was.
Dark magic? Was that the vile
I think
language?
That's what they might mean, but was that Terry that brought that up? I don't fucking know.
No, it was Kate.
No, it was Kate. Yeah.
It's Kate that said that she practices in dark magic.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy went off hysterical, and then I think Caroline joined her.
Yeah.
When they were walking through the beat with their picnic and hang rock outfits.
And then
after doing a sounding session, a healing session.
The sounding session was the drama. And then she's like, so this whole thing of it being a setup, I'm like, doll, this show, we are not fools. We know how set up it is. Like, these scenes are, designed. It's the story producing. It's fine. We get it. And I love, and then I love, they're like, well, ask Jackie. And then Osher's like, ask her. Well, she's right here. And the footsteps come down the hallway. And there she fucking is. And she goes, oh, it's very interesting.
Oh, she came in like ready. I was like, so fucking good.
I did appreciate the production of all that. Like, it's a similar kind of production when Terry was coming back. They showed the heel getting out of the car. You see Jackie's heels walking down the corridor, and then she just appears in the room like it's all a surprise. But she probably was getting ready with them. But yeah, it's so good. I love the production of it.
Jackie was great. She's like, she looked stunning too. Love this black number.
Yep.
She's like, it's all very interesting. I've been listening backstage, and I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know this woman. I've met this woman once, 10 years ago at the Afro Awards. And then yes, I was asked to come on your bloody show and fix it for you, so you're welcome. Is pretty much what she says.
And I love that when Caroline and her were just having that moment, we got the split screen of Jackie and Caroline. It was like it was like old school Melbourne Housewives with like, Jackie fighting with like Gina or something. It was just so nostalgic to me. And I just love that Jackie was not holding back. And Caroline, I felt like Caroline knew she had dug herself in a hole and she couldn't get out of it at this point.
Yeah, that was the turning point, I reckon, for Caroline. Yeah.
But then Caroline tells us she has verbal dyslexia, which I was like, girl, same. So good. Like, incredible. But yeah, this is, unfortunately for Caroline, just all this stuff, it's just not landing, doll.
No, it's not. Which is such a shame. And like what Scott said before, I loved her last season, but this season, I don't know. She's played so mean. It's not fair.
And then they explained to her that it was a bit for the show, but they didn't like conspire to make her look bad or anything, which I guess is what she was upset about. And then she doesn't change her mind about it, and she's digs the heels in, and we get Terry going, "Well, good luck, doll. I wish you well. Far, far away from me," which was very good luck with your house of cards.
Yeah. I wonder if with Caroline as well, that she saw the character that she had created last season and that people were really responsive to that. So she just upped the ante this season and almost got too caught up in the character of Caroline versus who she really is.
Perhaps.
I wonder if that's a little element there.
I think you're right, because I noticed in last season and was saying on the pod, like I thought she was one of my favorites from the start, but then, she was really conscious of the cameras and I could tell she was uncomfortable. So maybe for her, unfortunately, she just kind of got in her head a bit, which is like, we don't want that for you, Caroline. We want you to be like batting back at these women. I just like, it just doesn't make sense as a viewer when she's kind of like, I know she looks confused, but then really convicted about nothing. And it's like, I don't know. It's hard to be on your side, doll.
I mean, what about when it finishes, right? And the cameras are still rolling, and then the producer's people are coming over, and she's like, "Where were you? You're supposed to support me." So she starts going off them.
She didn't know the cameras were rolling then. That's the real Caroline.
That's the real Caroline.
That's why they had to show us that and the coaching in the toilet cubicles. Because I think when the cameras are down and she's still mic'd, she thinks that it's off. And it unfortunately. Yeah, she was pretty rude, wasn't she? She's like,
"That's what I mean.
You guys fucking let it all go." And I was like, "Whoa!"
I don't think it's a character. I think it's her. I think we saw more of the real Caroline in season 2 than we saw in season 1.
But only in those little
you know what I mean?
Behind the curtain. I think you're absolutely right. It's like I think she's putting all this energy into the facade, and then that's why we're getting lost, because it's like we can't follow the story because it's like you're not being authentic. So it's confusing as a.
Which is so like, what a hypocrite, right? Because she's saying Kate's crying fake tears, and Kate's not authentic and a bit of a fame whore, but yet the perception that perhaps we are reading.
But again, I feel bad, like even coming to any conclusion on this, because I feel like I need so much more information. I feel like we know absolutely nothing.
As a viewer, we see this much, and there's this much that happens, right? So yeah.
Also, I will give credit to Caroline. She did get Julian's name correct. She did say she did say Jackie, and she was very proud of that. So I will give her that. She got Jackie. Great. She got the right name this time.
And with that, Jackie leaves. She goes, "Thanks, Caps."
She shined away.
She shined up. Then it's time for Kate versus Caroline. And again, it's a bit orcs for Caroline, because once again, I don't feel she's explaining herself very well.
No notes. Like the articulation of her reasoning as to why she's so upset with Kate is she's just sticking to that line that Kate is fake and not authentic and cried fake tears in season 2. and she's doubling down.
Doubling down and calling her a strategic fame whore, which I was like, okay, like, sure, but I'm not sure if I saw that. So again, it's hard for us to kind of be on board because that would be a fun little zinger.
Kate doesn't need to be a strategic fame. She was already on TV before she was on this show.
Known before this show. That's why it's kind of like, yeah, cool. She's building a profile that she already had. She's a huge fan of the Housewives world. Like, she's like having fun. And they go like, and this is the thing, like they go low on each other a bit, these two. And like it's all fun and games until it's like not.
But good on Kate. She really stood her ground. I think what I've loved about Kate over the last 2 seasons, I wasn't really sure at the beginning of season 2, I'll be honest, just because I wasn't sure she fitted the usual mold of what a housewife is. But it's been really refreshing to have someone like her on the show. And she's really grown this season. She's become more confident, more ballsy, more sure of herself, which I really love. And by this reunion, she was like, I'm not holding back. And she was really standing her ground and really strong in what she was saying. And I just loved her for that. I thought she did such a good job of this reunion and really got across what she wanted to say.
You're right there, Scott, because of that growing and sure of herself, she's done that as a person, and it's translated through camera. That not necessarily it's Dr. Kate with her housewife hat on. It's like Kate as a person that's done that through the lens of that. I don't know. I agree with that.
No, totally. I think you're both right. It was a bit awkward at the start with Kate. I think in season 2 she was the odd one out.
Yeah.
And then this season it was kind of Martine that was the odd one out. And I don't know. Us gay boys watching, we're always rooting for that person because we know what that feels like. So it's very like, I know, to me, it just endeared me to her more. I'm like, these people just don't understand her because she's not living this cookie cutter, nuclear family.
Doesn't have the kids and the husband.
And so we're like, fuck yeah. And I love her confessionals this season have been so good. I just wanted to
Chrissy's IQ of 80.
And she did wait till the end to bring that stuff up with Caroline, and it was like great, like self-producing by her. I think she knows what she's doing.
But Caroline did the same thing in season 2. She waited to the reunion to tell Kate, she thought she was fake and not authentic. That didn't come up in the season at all until the reunion. So, and Kate's like, what? She was blindsided.
She goes, "You're a joker. Don't take on queens." And I was like, oh, a gay wrote that. She had to get that one out. And then speaking of gays writing their lines, we get some never before seen footage from the Glitterati party, and it's cubicle cam time. Again, love that they brought this up. Would have loved it on the show, but look, it's only a week later. It's Caroline kind of a little bit confused about what's going on. She's talking to her manager, and she's like, "Can I just disengage?" Which it wasn't actually that juicy. The juicy part was that she was there having a chat with her manager, and the rest of them perceived that as like, mainly Terry perceives that as,
because Terry went to the toilet and heard it.
Yeah. It's kind of like being coached in the toilet, which I don't know. Again, I hate this because it's like it kind of feels mean because it's like, maybe she was actually like having anxiety around the whole situation, like needed a support person. So in that sense, I'm like, guys, let's not bash. But this is where Caroline fucks it up every time. Instead of just going, yeah, cool or whatever, she's sort of like bats back in this mean way. She does say, she's like, "Is that okay? I had a breakdown." But she says it in this kind of like mean way. It's like, just be vulnerable. Be like, "Hey guys, I struggled this season. I'm not gonna lie, I had a really hard time." And then they'll all, I reckon they'll all back off then.
Yeah.
I wonder though if the manager situation, if there's more to that story as well, because I got the impression that a few of the housewives weren't a big fan of this person. That's just the vibe I was getting. True. And I wonder if they've meddled it in a little bit more. Although in saying that, I believe that he is also Sally's manager and one of the other.
And Victoria. Yeah.
But I just was getting the impression maybe this guy has been meddling around. Yeah. Who is the guy? Yeah.
We need to ask Dan. Dan will know.
Dan always has the tea on all the
Nancy Drew Dan.
Oh, so funny. But like, love a toilet cubicle moment. I've had
we've
a
all
lot.
done some coaching. Yeah, we've all been coached. Yeah, before in the toilet
I'm a
bathrooms.
bloody
Yeah.
coaching professional at this point. But yeah, we don't want you having breakdowns, Caroline. But yeah, weird thing to then. It's not where I thought we were going to go on the
I thought we
remake.
were
It
going to
was
get that
left
big
field.
HR thing that they've been talking about in the
Nah,
press all year. I thought that was what we
fuck
were going to
no.
see. No.
No, I think anything that like implicates the show as
Mm,
like maybe having been a bit negligent or whatever to the cast, they're never gonna fucking put that in.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they want to be squeaky clean. And Martine sort of has a final thought at the end. She goes, "Well, this is a bit sad, isn't it? Thought we were gonna maybe resolve some stuff." And yeah, to be honest, I'm with her. I love a good fight at a reunion, but how awesome is it when they can actually just like move on, especially when the shit is this petty.
Yeah.
Move on, girls.
Are we going to touch on Sally and Victoria? There was a little bit of a
Oh
moment
yeah,
there, just talking about that. But
speak on it.
I mean,
Wasn't
well,
memorable to me, but
yeah, that's just because all the girls should probably get a mention. But I think they tried to flesh perhaps maybe a fight between Sally and Victoria out, but they had clearly resolved that because
yeah.
when Osher said, "Oh, Sally, what do you think of Victoria?" and she's like, "I'm going to fucking come for you," and Victoria was laughing along with it. So they've clearly resolved that.
Oh,
You know
true.
what I mean?
And look, Sally's a fucking awesome, like mature adult, and I think she knows that because if she wanted to, she's got something on VM for life. Like if she wants to, she could be like, "Remember that time you like."
Yeah.
Made fun of my cancer, or made a bad joke about my cancer, or whatever.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She's like, no, like we got over it. So I appreciate that.
I also wanted to touch on the Martine when she spoke about obviously she lost her mum, during the after the New Zealand trip, and it's a real like we're such Martine fans, we love her, and I just think that for her to have gone through that while filming this, like,
Yeah.
such a strong woman and I
Absolutely.
really feel like to anyone who was always questioning, because I know there's been a lot of divide on Martine on this show, but I think it really highlighted that she had real shit going on, and for her to still show up, because not everyone did always show up,
Yeah.
speaks volumes to her professionalism. And I do hope that if another season comes and she wants to do another season, I would love to see her on this show in a fresh perspective with the friendship she's got with Terry and Kate. I think there's just so much to explore there.
Oh,
and I'd love her to have
it.
a bigger moment on this series, because I think she's got a lot to give.
Like
I agree.
if she comes back, she'll be awesome. Like if that's your first season, girl, like well done. More exciting than a lot of the girls. So,
Team Martine.
Yeah, was
Absolutely.
into it. Should we talk about Tuesday night?
Oh my God.
Well, but maybe we need to give a bit of backstory for the viewers, Sam.
I
It all
mean,
started with like maybe we got an invite.
no, I don't think we give any backstory. I think we say we were in attendance at a Housewives event, and of course we were, because that's correct. I think that's
Correct.
all
That's absolutely
anyone
right.
needs to know.
Correct.
It's fun. We took Dan and Lauren from Gasbagging along, so we were the little podcast contingent at the party. I was most excited to see, because I'm a huge Below Deck girly. Hannah Ferrier, Chief Stew, like icon, was there, and like everyone was gushing over the Housewives, and I was like, Hannah. And then I was like, why aren't you on the show? And she's like, well, let's get me on. So I'm starting a petition to get Hannah Ferrier on season 4, because fuck, she's good. Like,
Well,
you guys aren't Below Deck fans, right?
No, it was very Tim Sims for me and Shane on that one.
She's like so iconic. Like, there's this whole season where there's this hot guy on the boat, and she's supposed to be working, and she has a little fling on the boat with the hot guy, which I'm just like, yes,
Love
queen.
this.
And then they find out about it because of like an iPad that's like synced to her phone, and they see the messages. It's so fucking iconic. and then she gets fired, and everyone like
Love
you're either on
this.
Captain Sandy's side or you're on Hannah's side. But I was firmly with Hannah, and I think they've just buried the hatchet now, years later.
Wow.
The only one from Blow
Okay,
Demo now was
that sounds like yeah.
the New Zealand girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aisha, yeah.
Mm.
She's having a moment. She's on some. Wasn't she on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here or Amazing
That's how I
Race
know
or
her.
something? Yeah. Okay. Right. She's also so fun, so camp. But Hannah's old school.
Hannah has like because it's on Bravo.
Yeah.
She's like an American link. Well, I say American, like she has an overseas link there.
Yeah.
That if she was on season 4 of Sydney, it would attract a different kettle of more viewers, I should say.
True.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. That's very true. I just think she'd be fun on the show because she's not afraid to be a bit messy, which is why she's my girl. And her and Terry were pretty close, running around, getting up to all kinds of chaos.
So are you and Terry Doll? I mean, you're getting up to lots of antics.
Oh my God. Is this a PG podcast?
Oh my God. Yeah, Terry did demand that
the skirt of it all.
If you are wearing a skirt, you're not allowed to wear underwear.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, I did remove my underwear for
I
Terry.
Helicopter.
I never thought that in my life I would be in a photo booth with you, Terry Biviano, and what was your girl, Hannah, in a photo booth with Terry Biviano whipping your underwear around.
Great end to a great night. Also, yeah, so Simone, you mentioned before.
Oh my God.
Simone from season 5 of Melbourne was there. And I love, she's like, oh, I thought I was going to go under the radar tonight. And we were like, no, doll.
You're in a room with gays.
I was like, there are gay men here that need to talk to you.
Yeah. And we did. And she was so lovely. She just was happy to spill all the tea, and she was chatting for ages. She gave me her feelings on Cherry and Angelie and Kyra, and she told me what she'd been up to for the last sort of 4 or 5 years. And yeah, she was actually really, really lovely. Like, it was so nice to chat to her. And she's a fan of Melbourne, and she wants it back.
Do you know what I love?
She said, she's like, I got a shit season.
Do you know? Yeah, she did say that. Yeah. Do you know what I love? We were over where we were standing, and like Jackie was talking to Simone, and like the three of us, or you and I, Scott, were like, "Is that Simone? Oh my God, that's Simone!" And I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go to the toilet." I come back, and basically she's like, "You've basically got her number, and you're basically like making out on the dance floor." I was like, "Okay, they're best friends already."
Yeah, she's like, "Let's go for a coffee." She's like, "I'm in Chirac, let's have a coffee." I'm like, "Look, I'm probably never having the coffee, but I appreciate that in that moment."
I love
Simone
it.
wanted to have a coffee with me.
I reckon she's good for it. If you hit her up,
I'm still waiting for the follow back on Instagram. She did make me follow her on Instagram, and then I'm like, not got the follow back, honey.
Classic. I also miss Shine, Shine, Shine. So I cannot believe she was there. She also read me. She
did
my
too.
aura. She goes, "Oh, you're very earthy."
Yeah.
And I was like,
she goes like very Byron, earthy, like that kind of.
I've been touched by an angel. I did, which was stunning. And she read Lauren from Gasbagging. So she had a beautiful soul.
Oh, that's so nice.
A la Jessie McCartney's beautiful soul. So I was like, beautiful. I love just on the dance floor, just dishing out casual aura readings. It's shine.
Well, she did walk up to all of us when they were, and she said, "Shine, shine, shine," and pointed to us. And I felt like I had been blessed by God. I was like,
yeah,
I'm in another realm now. I've been blessed by Jackie Gilles. That's all I needed. She said, "Shine, shine, shine" to me. I could die now. Like, I've done all the levels of the gay game. There's no.
Do we know if Jackie's part of the conclave at the moment? Is she up for the Pope? Because she should be.
It's where was off to right after that, because she's in contention.
Amazing.
It was like a blessing.
It was
a divine entity. Who else
it was a fun
there?
night.
There was some Sydney, socialites, but I love that because we don't really fucking know or care who they are. So I love that we're just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people come up to me like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Who are you?"
Are you in the Daily Mail?
When Martine came over to say hello to us when we were sitting down, there was a lady behind her, who I subsequently found out later her name was Jackie Gilles. And I went on my way back from the toilet, I ran into her. She was like, "Oh, sorry." She was
Were you getting coached in the toilet, Shane, or what's going on?
Well, yeah. I'll tell you off camera. But she's lovely. She hosts a podcast on Nova, which I didn't know.
Great.
And we got chatting to her, and we talked. I was like, she's from the Gold Coast. I said, "Oh, well, do you want to be in this show? Maybe you can be in season 4." And she's like, "I don't know if I'll be in this show. I'm all about love." I'm like, "What about Love Island?" She's like, "I think maybe that one." Maybe she's been on Love Island before. I never watched Love Island or
Thirsty
Map
girl.
or whatever. But she was lovely, and I think she follows our podcast now.
She
Is that
does,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, there you go. We love that.
She must be a Big Steps fan.
Shout out to Jackie Gilles. We love you. She was an absolute sweetheart, though, like a real sweetheart. And we talked about how we knew Martine and the girls and so forth. So yeah, and then I came back and you were basically making up with Nicole.
Besties with Nicole Simone.
Nicole Simone.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Sorry. Imagine she's
Simone,
there.
I meant, sorry. Sorry, I got verbal dyslexia.
If there's anyone that could turn me straight to be a housewife, let's be honest.
The Biv. The Biv.
Oh my God.
I would turn for the Biv. She's stunning.
Can we just talk about how wild the Biv was, but how amazing it was too? And she was so friendly.
Lovely.
So lovely. They all were, right? They were so friendly, so lovely, and so candid about the experience. I remember one of the things she was saying to you, Sam, she was like, you know, we're signing up for this show. We know what it's about. But when you're in it and you're filming it, you're actually living it. So when something is said, you do take it to heart and it's serious for a moment. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. They are filming a TV show, but there's also a serious element to it as well, that because some of the insults are like a bit shit, right?
Agreed. Like there's a light, fun way to do it. And it's funny because, Martine and some of the other girls gave me some really nice feedback on the pod. And they were like, what we like about you is that you're roasting us for filth, but you're roasting everyone, so it feels fair. And I was like, yes, I'm an equal opportunity shit talker. Thank you, girls. But it's so true. Like when it feels personal, that's when it starts to get nasty, girl. But if you kind of just being a bit like light and silly with it, I think everyone can get on board. Which I think most of the girls this season were trying to do. And then, poor Carol just got stuck on something. And if there is something more there, like, I want to know. Like, I'm so curious.
I think she had too much coaching this season, maybe.
Yeah.
Should we talk about your hat, Sam?
Okay.
And the Biv and the hat. Can we talk?
The fucking hat.
I do have video footage as well of this incident, if you would like me to send it to you.
Yes, please. So obviously I got the hat from Victoria Montano. Finally, she sent it. She probably sent it because someone told her, hey, like, because every week on the pod, I was like, still haven't got my hat. And then she sent it, which was very lovely. Thank you very much, Victoria. So funny. But it said there was a note attached that came allegedly from her assistant. Elsa. I was like, you sure your kids just aren't really into Frozen? That was the first name you could come up with. But no, I'm sure Elsa's lovely. It said, hey, doll, wear this hat to the party. So I'm like, how does she know I'm going to this party? So obviously the girls are talking, which we love. And then so I was like, fuck it, I have to wear it. I have to somehow make an outfit that matches this hat. So I went full Madeline.
Oh, iconic.
Which is not my normal style, but I was like, who cares? I don't know any of these people. And then Terry was like, oh, that's not the fucking hat, is it? Throws it behind
Next
the bar.
minute.
Wasn't the line just like, how dare you wear this hat here into this party?
Yeah.
In this sacred temple, you're wearing that stained garment. I was like, oh, too funny.
But she did it a few times, because there was another moment where I feel like she got again and tried to stomp on it or something.
Martine stomped on it as well at one point. She's like, oh.
I was like, no.
So funny.
But the hat survived.
It did.
The hat is survived.
hat
It's going in the
came back to
Cringe Is Real
Melbourne.
Museum. Yeah.
It's going in the Cringe Is Real Hall of Fame. The tattered Italian-made hat. Yeah.
And we also found out what a T-bomb was.
Oh, so tell me, what is it?
So it's not a tequila shot. And
That's what I thought.
Dan speculated it was tequila with soda. but it's actually a margarita.
Mm.
And Terry said it has some other ingredient in it. I can't remember what it is.
I
But it's
think
like
it was just like a double shot of tequila. I'm fairly sure, maybe. And then she was like, let's do them. And then she wandered off to the bar, and then someone grabbed her for something and got distracted. And then we never did the T-bomb.
We never did a T-bomb.
That's okay.
I love that she's just taken, universally loved beverage, a margarita, and just like rebranded it something so ridiculous.
So
I
good.
love
It's like a vodka
that.
soda.
Yeah.
It's the skinny bitch. It's vodka soda.
The T-bomb of it all.
Yeah.
Well,
it was just amazing, and yeah, they were all
was
lovely.
great.
So nice to spend time with them and get to know them, because I think we've all collectively had individual sort of like relationships with a few of them online, and it was so. And just again, shout out to our girl Martine.
And shout out to Kate.
And
Actually,
Kate.
Kate was
And
so warm and lovely, and like really. When you talk to her, she talked to you one-on-one, and she gave you. She just really like listened to what you had to say, and she was so complimentary to myself and you boys, in regards to just keeping it real, keeping the cringes real, right?
Real knows real, doll. And yeah, I think that's why Kate and I click. And yeah, again, and she's a fan. Like, she loves the show. She's happy to talk about it. We were mainly just talking about other seasons of Housewives and like who we love and all that. So yeah, it was great to catch up with Kate.
But to you, Sam, they're all a fan of the pod. So you've done your work well, doll.
Thanks,
so
doll.
congrats on that. So
Well, I've had so much fun this season, and it couldn't have done it without my fabulous guests. So
thanks for having us.
very much for joining.
You're welcome.
And I believe we might have something in the works for the low season.
Oh,
But more on that later.
To come.
Yeah. But no,
Shine.
I don't know about you guys, but I am actually still feeling it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna catch up on some sleep shortly.
Yeah, same.
Been
I'm gonna
awake.
finish the afternoon.
But yeah, did you want to plug the Glitter and Gold pod before we go?
You go first, Cut. You're good at that.
Yeah, look, as I've said the last time I was on, if anyone out there is a fan of the UK pop group Steps, Shane and I do a podcast called Glitter and Gold, the original Steps podcast. We interview people that have worked with them, music producers. We talk about their albums, singles, tours, just all the things. So Glitter and Gold on Spotify, Apple, all the places you listen to this wonderful podcast.
Gorgeous.
And you can follow us at Glitter Steps Pod on Instagram.
X or TikTok.
Or TikTok, yeah.
Stunning. And of course, Cringe is Real is on Blue Sky, TikTok, and Instagram. You know where to find me. And it's bloody Eurovision next week, which I'm so excited for. I'm going to do a little.
Man.
Yes. Have you seen? So, can confirm the Milkshake Man whipped his top off on stage. So, all of Europe is going to be
Frothing.
for that.
Wet, yeah.
Frothing.
Frothing.
Yes. Very excited to chat Eurovision sometime next week. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me, girls.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having us.
See you
You're
soon.
welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.